Hi, my name is Yeak Lee Ling. Number metric is 254665. In this video, I would like to presenting my final year research. The title is Environmental Economic and Philanthropic Awareness Factor on Clothing Disposal Behavior Among UM Undergraduate Students. And my supervisor is Dr. Nosia Binti Hami. And this is my poster. I will presenting my content with the slide. First of all, for my introductions, with the growing influences lifestyle and purchasing power, the fast fashion trend in which fashion style become quickly obsolete has escalated and creating the phenomena of the throwaway culture. Unused clothes are being discarded as waste, which is causing harm to the environment. And now trendy young consumers who wish to keep up with the latest fashion trend will purchase any clothes that have been launched. Municipal solid waste in Malaysia found that Malaysia produces 25,000 tons of municipal solid waste daily, and textile waste contribute for 4% of the overall waste, which amount to about 1,000 tons of the textile waste per day, and the amount is constantly rising. And consumer disposal behavior is explained as the consumer behavior and decisions making during he or her unused product disposition stage. And disposal behavior of the consumer can be divided into three categories, which are donate to charity, recycle or discard, or give away to family or friends. Therefore, as the phenomenon of the fast fashion is growing rapidly, many of the consumers are still unaware of the sustainable disposal methods. The ineffective disposal is now becoming an increasingly serious problem in many parts of the world. Next, I want to talk about the problem statement. With the sudden changes in style in fashions, the overconsumption of clothes had a huge effect on the economic impact of the environment. Consumers with overconsumption of clothing is because they follow the trend of the fashions and want to become influencer, so will buy a lot of branded clothes, and it will cause an economic problem. And to the excessive landfill issue created by throwaway culture in the field of clothing disposals is frequently underestimated as the environmental effect of the clothing waste disposals are often ignored. This has become an ongoing phenomenon as far as memory is concerned in the long run, because clothing is a charming part of everyone's life. So this also become a purpose for me to ongoing this research study. For my research objective, the first objective is to investigate the relationship between environmental economic factors and clothing disposal behavior among UM undergraduate students. And second objective is to investigate the relationship between philanthropic awareness factors and clothing disposal behavior among UM undergraduate students. I will continue with my research methodology. For my primary data, I using quantitative approach, which is online questionnaire survey through Google form to collect the data. And the questionnaire was in self-administered survey, which means that respondents can fill out the form themselves without interviewer. And total 378 respondents as a sample size in this study. After all the data had been collected, researchers had used the SPSS to analyze all this data. Next is to the research finding. The analysis in the finding is Pearson's correlation analysis and multiple regression analysis. This table is Pearson correlation analysis, which clearly said that the relationship between environmental economic factors and clothing disposal behavior was weak. This strength of associated can be explained by the R value was 0.289 that is less than 0.4. Besides that, the correlations between the philanthropic awareness factors and clothing disposal behavior, the results show that the R value was 0.572. So the relationship was moderate between the philanthropic awareness factors and clothing disposal behavior. In this table, it's using multiple regulations analysis. It shows that the coefficient beta of philanthropic awareness factor has the higher value, which is 0.533 in this study, meaning that it has a stronger effect, while environmental economic factor had the lowest at 0.155 with the lowest effect in this study. And the F value and R square were 100.699 and 0.349 in this study. Next, can see that p-value of environmental economic factor was less than 0.05. It means that there is a significant relationship between environmental economic factor and clothing disposal behavior, so that the hypothesis 1 was accepted. And second hypothesis showed that p-value of philanthropic awareness factor was less than 0.05 also. It means that there is a significant relationship between philanthropic awareness and clothing disposal behavior, so the hypothesis 2 was accepted. So in conclusions, there are a significant relationship between environmental economic factor and clothing disposal behavior, and relationship between philanthropic awareness factor and clothing disposal behavior since their p-value was less than 0.05. Hence the hypothesis was accepted. Through this study, we can conclude that environmental economic factor and philanthropic awareness factor influence consumers are more likely to recycle if the recycling options are to their convenience. Therefore, consumers need to be trained in order to build environmental sensitivity and the advantage of philanthropic, as well as the effect of accessing recycling, rather than simply being motivated to recycle. In addition, authorities can provide consumers with more recycling facility to promote their sustainable clothing recycling behavior. Further research is needed to explore more detailed information about clothing disposal to implement clothing disposal management effectively. So finally, we have come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching and listening. If you want any further inquiry, you may contact me at the number as I listed on the slide. Once again, thank you for watching and wish you have a nice day.